being a lighting designer?
The worst part about being a lighting designer, that's hard to say.
The worst thing.
The worst part about being a lighting designer, please see also the best part of being a lighting designer.
The fact that there's nothing I can really do until everything's in place. I also joked with the director once. I said, one day I'll learn how to frost a cake that hasn't been baked yet. Like the lighting comes in and just really is some of the final touches on a piece after a lot of other things have been discovered.
Sometimes lighting is the last to go into the theater, and we have to be really kind of quick and diligent.
Sometimes you're lucky to be an integral part and you're part of the cake, but often lighting is, like I said, enhancing what's already being presented.
Okay, the worst part, which I don't do anymore, so because I have my assistant do it. The worst part used to be drafting the plot.
I hate drafting. I hate drafting so much. I love it when things end up where I want them to, but I don't want to do the drafting. I love the math of the drafting, but the actual computer-aided drafting, CAD programs, I hate them.
I am old enough that I used to do it by hand. There's actual articles, even when there were computers, of me talking about doing it by hand, and I used to do my paperwork by hand. Channel hookups, but now I have assistants that do that for me, so it's not nearly as bad as it used to be.
You're last to the party with your elements. I'd say that's one of my least favorite parts.
It's not the creative part; it's the analytical part and the math of it. That is the worst part for me. I love being in the theater and turning things on and off and timing and the rhythm. The rhythm of that is way more fun. So yeah, drafting is the worst part. I'm sorry to say.
I feel like for me, there is no worst part.
There are a couple things that kind of irk me a little bit. Nothing that would ever prevent me from doing this because I have to do this. This is what I love to do.
That's so goofy, right? There's nothing wrong with being a lighting designer. No, sure, there is. But I love it so much.
The worst part is if you get into a room and you think you've been having fantastic conversations with your whole production team, and all of a sudden something is so different from what you've discussed, and you have to have that initial concept of who changed something and why didn't you tell me?
One joke I make with friends, sometimes sound design friends, is that we're the metaphysical designers.
That's a hard conversation to have. Everybody thinks someone's getting blamed. And you just need to get information, and that's pretty bad.
I don't know. Time crunch. I'm going time crunch.